Hello everyone. Today I will discuss chapter number 4, sorting materials into groups. This chapter will be discussed in 3 parts. I will be discussing the first part. The topics which will be included are: what is sorting, the arrangement of things based on similarities and differences, the benefits of classification, what are materials, and the composition of matter. Now, every day we come across a large number of things. All these things do not have the same shape, size, color, or utility. We use them according to our needs and their properties. Let's take a typical day in our life. Our day begins with waking up and getting ready for school. First, we brush our teeth, for which we will need a toothbrush, a toothpaste, and water. Just imagine that if you cannot find your toothbrush in the morning, what a challenge would it be? Now let's take another example. You must have seen your mom working in the kitchen, and you know that how easily she can find every gadget in the kitchen. She can plan a dish and make it quickly, very easily, without shuffling anything on her countertop. Why is it so? Because she exactly knows where her ingredients are, where she has kept the vessels, and where the cutlery is lying in her kitchen. Doing this takes time, but after a while you will see how easy it is to find what you need when everything is at its place. This systematic arrangement of things on the basis of certain similarities and differences is called as sorting or classification. Now, it is important to understand that there are 2 ways of sorting things. One, you could sort out things or you could classify things based on the similarities, and these similarities help us to arrange the things in the same group. You could also arrange the group based on the differences in their properties. Let's take an example. Now, let us closely observe the things that are shown in this picture. Can you name them? There is a bulb, a purse, a musical instrument, aluminium foil. There are a few balls, a chair, a glass window, a car, a shirt, a table. Now tell me, what are the things here that are made up of only metal? It would be the aluminium foil and the pair of scissors. Now, if we look closely, we can gather the following information. If I ask you, what material can be used to make a table and a chair? Can it be wood? Yes. Can it be a metal? Yes. It can be plastic also. So, an object can be made up from different kinds of material. Now, a material can be used to make different kinds of objects. For example, if I ask you, what can be made with a plastic? We can make a chair, we can make a table, we can also make balls, isn't it? Now here in the picture, there are some objects that are made up of more than one type of material. Can you name them? Yes, you're right. The car is made up of metal. The tires of the car can be made up of rubber. Similarly, a bulb is shown here. The bulb is made up of metal as well as glass. So I hope you have understood that here the arrangement of things are based on the similarities or a particular material that they are made up of. Now, as I have told you that the arrangement of things can be based on their differences also. Can you identify the difference by which the animals are called as herbivores omnivores or carnivores? Yes, it is the difference in their eating habits. Is it clear? Now let's understand, why is sorting of materials important? What are the benefits of classification? Classification is important to understand the similarities that help us to arrange things in the same group. Sorting of materials is useful for convenience and to make their study more organized, as it saves our time and effort. Now let us understand the classification of materials. It can be classified into natural and man-made. The materials that are obtained from nature, example wood, cotton and iron, they are called as natural materials. The materials that are made by human beings are called as man-made materials. They include plastic, glass and steel. Now we already know that there are different materials. We make objects with these materials. But how do we decide which material to use for making an object? Before finding an answer to this question, let us see what is there inside the material. Everything in this universe is made up of matter. Matter existed on the earth even before the first man had appeared on it. Now we all know that matter exists in 3 states: solid, liquid and gas. All these states have 2 general properties. They all have mass and occupy space. So, matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. Now, do you know what matter is composed of? Matter is composed of very small particles called as atoms. They are the basic building blocks of matter. Atoms combine together, they form molecule. For example, water molecule is made up of 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen atom. An element is a substance made up of same type of atoms. There are 118 elements known so far. 94 of these exist naturally. Rest of the elements are synthetic, that is, they have been developed into the laboratory. Each element is represented by a unique symbol, like I have shown here: copper by Cu, hydrogen by H, and oxygen by a capital O. Substances formed from atoms of different kinds are called as compounds. Water is made up of 2 elements, hydrogen as well as oxygen, and so water is a compound. Different materials are made up of different elements and compounds and have different arrangements of atoms or molecules. That is why different materials have different properties. Now, let us understand the arrangement of the molecules in different states of matter. Molecules in substances are arranged in a particular manner. They are arranged very closely with very less space between them in some substances. In solids, we all know that the molecules are tightly packed and they have little space to move. Just because of this reason, they have a fixed shape and they do not flow. The molecules of the liquid, they are loosely packed as compared to the solid and have more space, and that is why liquids flow. For the gaseous substance, the molecules are far from each other and they move freely. They do not have a fixed shape. The distance between the molecules of a substance is called as the intermolecular space. The intermolecular space between the molecules of the solid is the least, and in between the gaseous molecules is the maximum. Hence, the force exerted between two molecules of solid is the maximum, and in gases it is negligible. Now, what is intermolecular force? All the molecules are held together by the force of attraction called as the intermolecular force of attraction, and as I told you, it is highest in solids and negligible in gases. Here we have understood the properties of all the three states of matter: solid, liquid and gas. In part 2, I will explain the different properties of the materials. Now, before I end the topic, I told you that everything that has mass and takes up space is matter. Yet, there are a few things that does not consist of matter. Do go through your textbook and let me know whether you have found the answer or not. Bye.